back with Canadian Disc Golf Productions. This is the Kings Forest Open Round 1, back 10. I may have got that wrong last time. I am Chris Brown, joined with...
I'm Robbie Holden.
Robbie, the roller coaster Holden himself. I heard that was your nickname now.
I'm living up to it.
Yeah.
One tournament into the year, I'm already living up to that nickname.
It's okay, buddy. It'll come together. At least you can do it, you know? You showed potential.
Yeah, exactly. There's lots of highs, lots of lows.
Yeah.
But as a good friend of mine, Sean Galbraith, says, why come out and play less golf?
Sounds like a Sean Galbraith.
More strokes is more golf.
Thank you to PGA Canada and the OCC Tour. What a beautiful course, eh? And the flowing river. Yeah,
absolutely.
Manicured grass.
Guys out here playing for a spot in provincials, with it being an OCC stop. And this year it's changing too, where it's not just the winners that are getting into provincials. It's actually the entire top three.
Yeah, I'm not sure the rules behind it, if it trickles down anymore, but top three either way in this tournament, since it's the first tournament, will get their provincial qualifying slot, assuming they are an ODSA member.
Yeah, ODSA member. Yeah.
I don't know why that blanked me. That was a new one.
Back again with our feature card in round 1, Matt Bootsma, Caleb Schmidt, Calvin. I want to know, can Calvin actually do a backflip?
I've never seen him do one, but I wouldn't be surprised.
No, it wouldn't surprise me either.
I'm also pretty sure if I did that move he did, just like faking a backflip, I would hurt myself. So.
Yeah, my knees were kind of in pain just looking at it.
Yeah. So, hole 19 to start off our front 10. It's a weird start on 19, but we did start on hole 8, and there's 21 holes. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the easiest holes on the course. It's just a stock 270 hyzer with nothing in the way as far as hyzer is concerned. So I expect everyone to put a good move on this and just going. Brian looks to be going with a mid-range.
Yeah, I would expect to see that a lot here. I know even for myself as an amateur, I'm throwing a mid-range on this, something overstable, right into all that opening there, and just let it hyzer out.
We did have a bit of a left-to-right wind, if I'm remembering correctly, so expect the disc just to be pushed down as soon as they start to go left, as it looks like Brian's did, but he got a good drive out of it. Got to look at the two.
Calvin looking great here.
Ooh, gives it the ace run and gets punished for it being behind the tree and in the woods.
And I think he might have come right on the path there too, which after a lot of foot traffic with practice rounds and tournament players coming through, it's quite muddy in that area.
And all good shots. As you would expect on this hole, it's particularly easy in my mind. You
could see all 3 drives right there in the same frame.
Definitely a good hole though. It's one that it seems easy, but that's just what makes it so difficult.
Yeah. We're going a little bit deep here, but everyone's got putts coming back.
I think that's what the left to right wind is doing. It doesn't look windy, and that's so annoying. But the left to right wind just kept everybody going straighter longer than they expected. It's so annoying because it was so windy during this, and it looks like the perfect day.
Wow, Caleb getting quite airlifted there.
I was about to say, I don't know how Brian putts with the hood up. That seems crazy. But then he took it down.
Reading your thoughts.
He does that all the time. It's crazy. I don't know how he does it.
Brian getting lifted as well. Maybe a little bit of wind coming in there.
Almost certainly.
Yep.
Calvin has to straddle out a little bit. Always a fan of the straddle putts. He is.
Just a little low there.
All the East End putting people are going to be in awe at the amount of putts Calvin has missed today.
It's not normal for Calvin out on the course, that's for sure. Caleb with a great par save there.
Definitely left himself some work coming back, but...
Yeah, and then everyone else having some nice tap-ins. This hole actually averaged, it was the 3rd easiest hole on the day, but it only had 3 birdies. It didn't have any bogeys at all.
Right.
3 birdies.
Leyland, Cam, and James Duong.
Yeah.
3 birdies. That is surprising. This is such an easy hole. We really dropped the ball on this one, MPO. Hole 20 is...
Hole 20, par 4, 595 feet. This shares a same tee pad as the shorts, but with a one less stroke. So playing for par 4. This is a pretty straightforward hole off the tee. You're just wanting to throw it as far and as straight as you can. There is OB on the left. Anything on or over the path on the left side is OB. Everything else is nice and open. Everyone just trying to land right in the middle of the fairway here and have an upshot.
That's the wind I was looking for there on the last hole. See that tree ripping in the the foreground? The idea, I think, like, if the optimal drive, you want to go a big flex shot and really take up some distance, but it just puts that path into play, as Brian is doing exactly that, but the wind just dragged that way over. There's another cheeky little hyzer you can throw just to the right of that tree, but it just doesn't get you the same distance as the flex shot does, and you really want that second shot to be easy, as Calvin has
yanked this.
Yeah. Normally very good with the forehand, but that headwind must have just got him there, because I think that was one of his more overstable discs. As you can see, even Caleb's disc just getting ripped into the woods.
Yeah, that wind is really messing with our cart right now. It must have got real deep in there too. It can be tough to get out of that area.
Yeah, it's also muddy. It's mucky in there too. It's like, oh my god, everybody's getting affected by the wind here. The 3 backhands got ripped over and into the woods. The lone forehand ripped over, thrown OB. Calvin has put a move on this one. This could be really good. Oh.
A little short into the bunker. He'll be putting from there.
That bunker is so well placed.
Yep.
It's just every single shot that comes into that thing either goes in that bunker or comes up a little higher and skips 30 feet left. Those are your 2 options.
Yeah, it's such a well-placed basket, because to actually land beside it is so risky with coming up into the bunker, or like you said, having that skip long. For me, I always err on the side of caution and try and go long, but Calvin was deep there. He was really trying to come back from that OB stroke early. Now he's going to have that putt for bogey.
Ooh, is Matt? Oh, Matt has dropped that one OB relatively early, coming up the hill too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where his card mates give him a spot there. We got a casual dog walker coming up.
Even though it is a golf course, there are a lot of that look really good. A lot of pedestrians per se who walk their dogs, go for hikes, go for jogs. So gotta be patient. Gotta respect. As Caleb has put that up potentially high into the headwind.
Yeah, that's going to be out and left. That'll be a scary putt coming back, too, with the bunker in behind. See if he even tries to give it a bid.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did.
And he even came up safe, got both.
Yep.
Got the run and the safe putt.
For someone with as spinny a putt as him, too, that's really well done to not spin it too far into the bunker.
They gave Matt a pretty good spot there, in my opinion.
I agree.
And then he almost cashed it.
Brian just never given that the height that it needed. Big putt here for Calvin.
Double OB on the hole.
Wow.
Still takes what, a 6?
Fist pumping.
No,
that would have been his 5. Yeah, that was.
Oh yeah, because this is a par 4 from the goals. I forgot.
He got it in 3 strokes.
Yeah,
but two OB penalty strokes on top of that.
Yeah, I do like the change, making this a par 4 for the gold levels.
Agreed.
This is a par 5 from the shorts end, which is the same tee pad, and the mids, which I think is even harder. But it's just too easy for this caliber of play.
Absolutely. If you have the distance to really get yourself down into the fairway and far, it makes that hole real easy. Moving on to hole 21. This is another temporary hole for the tournament. 386 feet, par 3. Lots of OB to deal with. Everything short of this path here is OB, except for a super short layup area if you really wanted to. I doubt we're going to see any guys on this card go for that.
Not a chance. You can see there in the background with the bunker. I found this is actually difficult I practiced the layup for some reason. I don't know why, but I practiced it and I had trouble landing it not in that bunker. So any OB goes to a drop zone.
Correct.
Way to the right, which Brian looks like he is heading there as he just launched that thing way left.
Right out of his hand. That was gone.
But any hazard, which includes that bunker short, does not go to the drop zone.
Interesting. Calvin?
I think he got saved. Yeah,
Green
there's a green flag.
Wow.
That's one way to play it. Just throw it into the snow fence and collect your 3. Maybe a 2. Calvin's a good putter.
That is...
Caleb has pulled that a lot.
It's really wide, but there isn't any OB long there. We'll see how deep he is into those trees. If he got in there, that's going to be real tough to get out of.
Mm-hmm. It's a safe play just to throw it at those trees and get it in bounds. But, yeah, you can get pinched off real bad. Look at this gallery, what's going on back here.
We got the fans out for this card.
Wow, did we just have
That was
2 out of... Oh, yeah, we had 2 out of 4 go OB here, which is rare because it is 386 feet, but the landing zone is quite fair.
agreed.
If they made those trees OB, this would be a much different story. But just throw it at the trees, and if you miss them, you get parked. If you don't miss them, you're in the trees, and you just pitch out for your 3.
Yeah, that was my idea, was to play out right. Just use all the space that they have out here and crash in if I push it long. Although I didn't, and I think you may have been there to see me come into that short bunker there, into the middle of it, and somehow skip forward and out.
Oh, I was there for that.
That's one of the luckiest plays I've had in a tournament.
Yeah. Cold sand makes for good disc golf.
Yep.
Calvin taking his meter off that snow fence because he is in bounds. See if he can capitalize for the 3 as he sails that over the basket.
Getting that floaty. You can see the flag waving there. That's not a great wind coming from where he was going to go uphill.
So stabby.
That. Yeah. Leaking it a little right.
Brian uses every ounce of his body for every single putt. Eventually.
I do love that Brian is taking his time here in the wind.
Nose down into the headwind.
Yeah, that never had a chance.
Oh my goodness, Calvin. He told me that he had a rough putting round, but I didn't believe him. I thought his rough putting round was just my average putting round, and it's not.
Yeah, for those that know Calvin, we know that this is not an average showing for him on the putting green. This is out of the ordinary for sure. With the bogey there.
Looks like we're just piling up the bogey strokes here as everybody seems to be above par on so far in this course, which is understandable. This is tough conditions on a tough course. Kings Forest Golds. I think 1,000 rating is like 3 down or something like that.
And it can be super weather dependent too. Once the wind starts to pick up out here, it becomes a lot harder to score.
So like it's a tough. Yeah, I don't know. Come on, next year you're gonna have to come out and play it to see it for yourself if you haven't played it before, to understand how difficult this course can actually be at times.
It's unfortunate that this is only a winter course because it's one of my favorites for sure. We're moving on to hole 1 here. Par 4 from the Gold, 657 feet. Pretty much most guys, I'm assuming, are going to be playing up the right gap and
so
placement shot and then up to the basket.
In practice, the tee pad was back about 60 or so feet, and you saw a lot of people practicing the left fairway there. But they moved it up and pretty much made your only choice, the only logical choice, just to throw this straight up shot into the headwind.
I was thinking with where you were talking about that we might see Calvin go up the left side with a forehand, but yeah, you can see here they're just throwing it as far and as straight as they can here.
The second shot gets interesting here because where they're landing, they won't be able to see the basket because it shoots directly downhill off past the path on the left. Ideally, you want to land sort of left of where you can see. This looks good if it's far enough, and that is perfect. He'll actually be able to see the basket and kind of use the hillside to his advantage versus they're going to have to use just pure speed control to stop the disc in time down the hill.
Yeah, it's very easy to overshoot the basket from there and just glide all the way down the hill, which you guys will see on the second shot.
And this looks good if it's far enough.
This
it's so
can
hard
push.
to tell. Oh, it's not. He catches a tree.
But a very favorable tree reaction there, kicking him right back out to the fairway.
So this is what Brian's looking at. You might think this is a camera effect. No, this is what he sees. He doesn't know where the basket is truly. He's just guessing at this point.
Yeah, you're lining up the top of the tree that's over top of the basket and aiming for that essentially at this point.
I think Brian threw that straight into the tree in front of him.
You might have.
That's a rough go on your second shot here. There's a lot of room there to play with. This looks nice. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, if this can sit down.
And it hits a tree, which is, I don't know, it's so hard to tell where it went.
I can't really tell what tree that was. I thought it was the one that would be directly over top of the basket.
Yeah, so you can just see the basket there on the downhill. He is short. Going to have a 60-footer on a downhill basket. Probably just a layup.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see some layups from there.
That's where Matt got to. This is why I'm saying getting to the left side of the path is so important, because you can just play the hillside as that comes out and gets smacked by the wind.
Yeah, Matt's one of the better drives that you're going to see on this hole. Unfortunately, leaving his upshot a little short, it looked like there. Caleb comes into the trees.
That's simple. He's got a 15-footer into the headwind. I know it's into the headwind, but it's 15 feet, and he spins putt pretty well.
Oh, my goodness.
Oof. Brian really wanted that. Was that 3 or 4? It had to be a 3.
That would have been for 3, I believe. Buzzing the tower there on the basket.
His drive got much better than I thought it did. He must have only just barely touched that tree. Ooh, floaty.
Yep.
Probably wanted a little less float with how far that's past the basket.
The little downhill in that headwind, that becomes real touchy. Let's see, Calvin's just staying up in the air, but that is beautiful.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Won't have any trees in the way. Relatively straightforward. Oh boy, this is just
this green is showing its teeth here.
Oh
no,
no,
wow,
Brian.
I think that hit every part of the basket but in.
Cage freaking cage band and then out, and then as Matt as well.
Oh, sit down. Wow.
This is what this basket does. It is on quite a severe slope. It's just enough where anything that doesn't go, that hits and goes to the ground quickly is going to roll away. There's
Absolutely.
no doubt.
This camera angle, it really doesn't do justice to just how steep that slope is heading down towards the trees in the background there. It can become quick. As you see, Matt tapping out here.
There we go.
So this hole actually averaged as the 5th hardest hole on the course, averaging 0.53 strokes over par, which is crazy.
You can see why, as Calvin's giving us a little dance here. Huge wind. You're throwing into a headwind the whole way. You have to come down this hillside and hope your disc doesn't skip away, and then the putting is just difficult in this wind. If this was a calm day, this hole would be easy. There would be so many 3s.
Yep.
Very few, anything more than 4.
The wind really showing it there.
Nice slow-mo there. I think that was Caleb.
Yeah, that was a great drive. And shout out to, there was one birdie on that hole for the entire round. James Duong getting the birdie. That is fantastic. Getting strokes on folks with that one.
This one I'm curious about. So hole 2, 362 feet. It's downhill, so on a calm day you can get a mid-range there. But this is not a calm day as we've noticed.
Yeah, this will be. I'm curious. When I was playing from this, even though I didn't play at the tournament, I wanted to just try from this tee pad, and I was actually intentionally laying up short of the bunker and then putting at it from there. Don't think we'll see any of the guys. Doing that here, but
so when I played this, we had such a strong right to left wind, and it doesn't look like they're getting the same wind, that anybody who threw anything that hyzered would go an extra 200 feet left of where their disc was. Any anhyzer, and it just went straight. It was just, you could not win with this throw. So these guys are looking, both of them got a bit of anhyzer on it, so they got knocked down straight away, as you saw. Matt normally goes hyzers, and let's see what happens with this disc. And there she goes. Yeah. And that's what happened to every single person on my card.
Yeah, it really just got slammed.
Yeah, you love it out of your hand, and then because you're throwing from so high up, the wind has so much time to affect it, and it just pushes it so far left. I'm wondering how a forehand would have played in this, because it just would have fought into the wind as opposed to being assisted by it being pushed way left, as Brian has done the same thing. Just
forehand could have mitigated the hyzer angle and just kind of worked with the wind.
Yeah, sort of you can throw it straight at the basket.
Yeah.
So it's super easy. It's 362 feet wide open and nothing in your way. But that bunker makes it difficult.
Yep.
The downhill makes it difficult. It's just, I don't know. It's a really well designed hole, as Caleb may have slid into the bunker there.
Yeah, I really hope that stayed up. It can, with the slope there too, anything that starts to move towards that bunker can come up fast. But as you can see, Caleb there.
Brian's attempt at a layup was interesting in that wind. Got the nose down and it just went to the ground instantly.
Matt, after his layup, leaving himself a tough.
Okay, you see Caleb did not go in the bunker, so that is actually a really good run he put on there from where he was.
You could see even on Matt's there, it tried to pick up a little bit. Ryan taking his time. We got a headwind with a bunker behind.
Do you remember the numbers on what you need to get a flag to stand out perfectly like that? I think it's something like 35 kilometers an hour.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, I think there's a number, and if it's standing perfectly sideways, at least the proper ones,
then you know the minimum amount of wind that there is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to research that stat to have on hand.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but either way, today was probably gusting up to like 45 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Which isn't terrible, but it still affects your discs
noticeable
in a wide open
sure.
course. A wide open course like this. I think it was probably sitting steady 20 to 25, maybe 30 at best.
Yeah, and you can really notice it when you're out in the middle of the golf fairways. We've got hole 3 now. This is a slightly modified version of this hole, playing from a new tee pad, as well as adding in the triple Mando there. So we've got a bunch of OB left, OB right. There's a golf green in the middle here. So guys just trying to find the layup zone.
Oh.
Calvin pushed that.
Yeah. You really just need to put something like overstable fairway driver just past the greens. That's perfect. The way Caleb has dropped that out.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
And then you attack the triple Mando. Triple Mando's no more than 20 feet across by 20 feet across by 15 feet high.
Yep.
So interesting addition. What?
Whoa.
He's in bounds.
That was some of the craziest backspin I've seen.
Tiger Woods out here.
That was wild.
Smashing the B button or whatever button it was.
Yeah. Oh, throwback.
Yeah. So the interesting change back. We've played this for a while this way. The old, as Brian does not get the same luck. The old tee pad was up the hill behind Calvin here, and it was so muddy that it became kind of a liability in my mind. Oh, as Calvin has now thrown 2 OB. Unless that's not OB, I could have got lucky.
They kicked him back in bounds.
They're giving Brian up here, which I don't disagree with it from the card's perspective.
Yeah, from where you're standing on the tee pad, it's definitely really hard to tell.
Yeah, so. But even once you get past the Mando, those trees, it's so hard to get up to the basket.
It is such a tough. No matter which angle you have, there are so many trees between you and the basket that you really have to execute perfectly. And then there's that muddy area too. Great skipper.
Yeah, that's kind of what you gotta do if you're not in the. I love where Caleb is here. Oh, as he misses the Mando. No.
Banked that. I do agree with you though. Where Caleb was there was definitely being off a little more to the right. You actually have a couple lines right at the basket.
Yeah.
Even where Calvin was there, you had to go through it and hyzer, which is really hard to get that far left.
Oh, did Caleb miss the Mando
I think
again?
just went over top of the Mando.
No way. That's rough.
Here he is lining it up again.
There you go. That's more like it. The just played it deep. Calvin actually went OB left. He didn't miss the Mando, and then took his lie farther away from the basket to get that angle.
Yep.
which is a very smart veteran move from Calvin.
Absolutely. Know the rules of the game.
Caleb is not going to be liking this score because he's already thrown 2 OB with probably the best drive, too.
Yeah, he went from really loving this hole to having a bit of a rough time here.
Calvin, another one off the top. He's all over the basket today. Just can't get it to drop. Matt from maybe circle, 30 feet, 35 feet? Just outside circle?
Yeah, I would say.
Oh,
what a confident looking
what a
stroke
three
there. Yeah.
Happens, man. Rough
Yeah.
go. Is what it is. Can't go back now.
Nope.
A lot of bogeys on this hole. Brian going OB, Calvin going OB twice, and Caleb going OB twice, and then Matt just casually taking a 3.
Just dropping it in there.
Letting us know it's still possible.
This hole averaged as the hardest on the course during this round. It averaged 0.67 strokes over par.
I can believe it. It's just, yeah, so they didn't have the Mando in there before, and people were just throwing it as hard as they could into the trees and then taking whatever second shot they got. The Mando kind of made it more of a strategic hole, and I kind of like it.
I agree. I saw people before going like over the top of the trees with grenades and stuff, and that took that right out. So moving on here, we got hole 4. This is a par 3, right down a nice wooded tunnel.
This looks, one second. I had high hopes for that. Let's get the plastic play back on. Matt's phenomenal drive. That had to have been within inches. Maybe feet. Give him feet. But still.
A little short, but what a line. And then even getting the nice little trickle towards the basket there.
I find this hole incredibly difficult because it's hard to get that late flip up to get the disc to continue going straight.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of people do like a flex forehand kind of play. Because it does open up. Once you get past that one tree, as Calvin's going to demonstrate, once you get past that one tree, you can see in the middle of the fairway, it's wide open on the left, so just to get the room, as Calvin throws out a little low, but was really a good line.
A lot of rocks and stuff up in the fairway there. If you leave anything low, you never know what the disc is going to do.
Caleb's throwing a great shot.
I mean, getting frisky with the tree branches there. That one tree that you can see, the one that's sticking out from the rest of the main gap, that one has turned into a Kevin Jones at Jonesboro, I think, the tree that he can't stop hitting. I can't seem to stop hitting that tree off my drives.
I know the pain. I fixed that. No, I fixed it?
Yeah.
I throw it in the trees on the right.
Yeah. Smart.
Yeah.
Change the trees.
Yeah. Works every time.
Yeah. Caleb with a great bid out of the trees there.
Coming back. No doubt that he's going to get that one after that last missed putt. I haven't seen him. His bounce back on putting seems to be unshakable. Now shooting the best on this card and just sort of doing it smart and safe, putting himself most of the way there, getting himself up for tap-ins.
Yep.
Not doing anything too fancy, but
a lot of what you need to do on this course.
Not making dire mistakes.
Exactly. Matt with a nice tap-in birdie there.
Where are we going now?
Moving on, we're going to the top of the world.
Top of the world. Look at this.
What a shot.
You know where inbounds is? All the way to the green. Over the creek. We ranged at 470 feet to get inbounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So get the internet distance out and start saying you can throw 500.
Yeah, and then watch yourself come up short.
So, hole 5 from the gold tee pad. It is only a temporary tee pad for liability reasons and other stuff, but we're throwing from the top of this all the way down to where our camera guy Ken is standing in the middle of the fairway. If you don't cross inbounds, you go to a drop zone just in the green on the left. This was a ripping headwind when we did. This looks really good.
This needs to dig in.
That is perfect.
Fantastic.
What you want to do on a downhill shot, we're probably looking at 100 feet of downhill, maybe a little less.
I would say for sure.
Yeah. Is you want to get the nose down. You want to sort of throw it at the top of the trees and just let the overstable disc just turn right on you. But
yeah,
It's so hard to get that angle in the headwind.
Anything on hyzer is heading straight for the OB on the left there, which unfortunately Brian finds.
On a calm day, you'll see this is relatively easy in a way, as Calvin is demonstrating what you need to do, but just not a stable enough disc. And I'm pretty sure that was a Firebird.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it just went completely right.
I think he has an orange Firebird, and I think that's what it was. Caleb, except for the height, that thing is thrown an absolute mile, but if it was a little bit nose down, that would have kept the turn.
Yeah.
And that would have been brilliant. So this is the drop zone.
Calvin's out of his hand on that drive looked fantastic. Keeping it low and nose down.
But you need something in that head when you need something ridiculously unstable. As Brian has turned over his drop zone shot, there's no risk of going left here, really, OB. So just throw your most overstable disc, as Calvin is probably throwing the same disc he threw on the last hole, and then playing it to there, and then that's just the optimal spot. What is happening here? Okay, so you only got the drop zone
if you didn't make it over.
I think that's how it read.
Okay.
So he had to play from where he was last in bounds, or he opted to choose from that play from there. But I don't see why he would do that.
Yeah, if he had the option for the drop zone, it makes it a lot easier.
So I'm assuming that the wording was you could only go drop zone if you've never crossed in bounds.
Matt playing from his picture perfect drive.
Yeah, just laying it up short and left.
Yeah, that's the smart thing to do on this hole.
He probably had 400 to the basket, and there is water, maybe 25 to 30 feet short of the basket.
Yeah.
Lots of discs in that pond.
This is a par 5, so.
Wow, he got through it all.
Yeah.
He's got a chance.
Yep. Lots of trees over on that side, but you can find some lanes up to the basket.
Calvin also leaking it out right, but I shouldn't stop talking because that's perfect.
Wow. And it looked like it was trying to roll around that tree towards the slope, but thankfully it doesn't.
I'm not sure if Caleb has a forehand because he has not thrown one today. He got really unlucky to push through those trees. Normally those trees will catch you and push you back towards the basket, and he did not get that luck. So
hopefully he can find the same lane back out towards the basket and have a putt still.
You know that's never how it works.
No. It's not the game of disc golf.
Look at this, Matt, with his... Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness that landed on the other side there.
Playing the hole as it was meant to be played. Just 3 easy shots into a tap in. Okay. Yep. Well done, Caleb. That was huge. That one will pump you up when coming into the...
That is such a fantastic par save.
That'll pump you up coming into the last couple holes here. Calvin off the cage.
Once again, finding everything but the chains.
This is for Matt's 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, got a birdie. Wow.
That's how you draw up this hole.
Yeah, the only birdie that we had from the gold tee pads from the top of the mountain.
Well done, Matt.
That is huge. That is a well-played hole, and that one will make you feel good. That's something you talk about later.
I have 3 second places.
Yeah, overall, this one averaged right around middle of the pack, but only 1 birdie, as you said. So there's not as many bogeys as you would think on that one.
Yeah, it's surprising because it's pretty hard to save your 5 once you go a B because that drop zone is not easy. Hole 6 is one of my favorite holes. Actually, I'm lying. I'm thinking of the shorts or the mids. From the longs, it is 441 feet of just like butt clenching flight. It's just you have to hit that angle perfectly. It's OB left of the path, so if you don't come back in bounds, you're reteeing. It's just straight up.
Going directly over OB. Matt going really inside there.
Yeah, this is the typical thing you see. What happens is people trying to play safe and just pull it way into the right. It's Caleb.
Following
if he
suit.
finds a line through there, that could be something, but I don't think he does. Well, it's actually not bad.
Managed to get pretty far for that throw.
I'm wondering if that's what he was intending. Like, I'm having to say no, but maybe.
It would be crazy if that's the intended play, but
this is gettable. 441 feet is the edge of more than a lot of people's range, but
absolutely.
You could put a 400-foot drive out there and hit a 40-footer, especially this man here who's now stripped down to a t-shirt in middle of March in
Sun's
Ontario.
out, guns out.
as he has absolutely smacked again low.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like fourth one I've seen him throw lower than he's anticipating. But
Calvin,
again,
such a great forehand player.
this is all day just a 3. It says it's a par 3. You get a 3, you're happy.
Yeah.
I saw somebody. I don't know who it was. I just offhand want to give the credit to Thomas Hums, but I don't know if that was him. But somebody threw a roller OB long on this basket.
That is wild.
Yeah. I was on the next tee pad. It was my first hole. And I turned around and watched the distance roll by the basket and go over the path OB.
That's crazy. Not a play that I would even think of stepping up to this.
Yeah. I've tried it, but if it goes badly, it goes badly in your reteam. So
Yeah.
not worth it in my mind.
Yeah, lots of, especially from the long tees there,
Mm-hmm.
you're coming up on an OB basically right away.
Mm-hmm. See, Thomas Hums got the 3, so I may have miscredited, but somebody did it, and it was crazy. Either way, everybody kept it in bounds. Everybody's just putting for their pars here, right? It's just nothing too crazy.
Yep.
Matt makes another beautiful one in the wind. Hard to keep those kind of pitch putty, slow-moving putts going in the wind like this. So good on Matt.
Yeah, you can see it swirling left to right there. Caleb off, just low and left right out his hand.
Mm-hmm. Makes the correction.
Yeah.
Dead center.
With authority on
Yeah.
that one.
Confidence is not lost, that's
No.
for sure. Rough round for Caleb. He was doing pretty well until that hole 3 when he took the double Miss Nando's. But alas, here we are. So we are on the last hole, hole 7.
Last hole of the first round.
Yeah, 21 holes later, here we are. Definitely a punishing round.
Yeah.
This is a new addition this year?
This year, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, new addition to the course. Little par 3, all 3 tee locations, shorts, mids, and longs are all playing from the same on this one. So just a 230, but man, is there a lot of trees between you and the basket.
The safe play is something, an overstable mid-range low and skip it in, and that's a safe play. If you want to give it a little more frisky, you can go high and try to ace it. I talked to Tony on my card about how I've never seen anybody throw it in the water, so don't worry about it. And you want to know what he did? Straight in the water. Straight in the water.
You just had to say something.
Yeah, he threw a perfect shot. Ace ran the basket, skipped into the water, and had to take his 4 at that point.
Oh. Yeah, definitely tough to find your way all the way to that water on this one.
With all the trees, there's just so much to hit, and you just didn't. So
Calvin looks like he's lining up the forehand that actually goes. Oh, never mind, a turnover forehand. I've seen.
Ooh, that's really good.
That was great. I've seen it once from Chris Ozzolins. It went forehand kind of out over the water-ish. And kind of hyzering back in.
That's ballsy.
It worked out too.
Yeah, of course it did.
Yeah,
it's Mr. Ozzolins.
Local lines.
Talking to Calvin, he'll tell you that he likes to hit gaps throwing forehand. So if he can find a way to get a forehand through a gap, he'll do it every time. And
he is a great forehand player.
Yeah, so I don't blame him. Look how long he went.
He actually went deep.
Gave it an ace run, I guess.
There it is.
That's the Calvin I know, finishing off with an outside circle putt on an elevated basket, just to let us know that he's still one of the best putters in Ontario.
Getting the plastic playback here. That's what we've been waiting for Calvin this whole round. Oh, and he knows it.
That has a little obstruction with that big tree coming back. Oh, and then it rolled behind the trees.
Managed to find its way between the skinny trees, but there are going to be some obstruction on the way back. Way to finish out the round.
Yeah, Caleb keep it together.
Yeah.
Played well. Unfortunate result in a couple holes, but still doing great.
Oh, man. That looked like it was right side, too.
Yeah, maybe a little too right side, but look what Matt has left himself with after that really unfortunate roll away. Yeah, he had nothing.
Yeah,
maybe even hitting the camera operator. Let's go, Matt. Yeah. Get your head straight and let's end this round proper.
Nice confident finish here. And there it is.
I think that was everybody, right? Everybody's tapped in?
Yeah, I believe that should be it.
That was 21 holes of King's Forest Golds. If you ever want to punish yourself.
Yeah, you know where to go.
Yeah, King's Forest Gold. It's a lot of walking. It's a lot of hills. It's a lot of throwing. But it's really fun.
Yeah. Looking at our feature card here. Everyone coming in over par. Matt 6, Caleb 8, Calvin 6, and Brian, was that 6 or 8?
There was 1 8, 3 6s.
Yeah. So yeah, guys looking to bounce back in the second round here from our feature card.
It was not the best performance, I would say, from our card. I'm sure they all wanted to do better.
Absolutely. But it looks like there's a one-man show out here. Chris O'Zolins with a 6-stroke lead after hole 1. Andrew Leland at 2 down there. I think I saw someone else at 2 down there as well.
Canzanini finishing 2 down, and then Mr. Hums 1 down. All of our lead card for the next round will be under par. That's a good sign.
Yep.
Chris O'Zolins having designed the course and with help from others, but really knows how to play this course and all the shots to throw. So it's not surprising to see him at the front. He plays here a lot. He puts in a lot of work with this course. So
yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to seeing that lead card as we come back for round 2. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Missed Mando podcast. Check out myself and my co-hosts Sean Galbraith and Galen Naidu-Harris. New episodes every other Thursday. Thanks for having me in here, Chris.
Yeah, it was super fun to have you here. We'll obviously have another full round of back 9 to go. I am Chris Brown.
I'm Robbie Holden.
We'll see you on the next one.